Hey you guys, it's Kaylee. I am back with another exciting video, one that you guys have been asking about and I've been getting so many questions about, and I figured if I'm getting asked this many times, why not just make a video about it? Because obviously you guys are wondering. So I'm going to sum up all of these comments, which I think I've gotten probably 20 comments by now on both YouTube and Instagram about this whenever I share my sales. I'm going to summarize it into one question, which is how in the world do you make so many full price sales? So if you guys are curious, I'm going to answer that question in today's video. I think a lot of factors go into making full price sales, and I wouldn't say that I am an expert in making full price sales. There's really just a lot of things that go into it that I am currently participating in and trying to strategize with. These are all just my thoughts and opinions and why I think I am making full price sales, and they are what work for me, but obviously you've got to do what works for your business. So test these methods out, see if they work for you. I think they will. So number one, and the one I find the most funny, is that I actually don't accept offers on eBay. So there's no option for the buyer to not buy something full price. Let me explain. So specifically talking on eBay, which is where most of these questions are coming from regarding full price sales, because on Poshmark, you can't really turn off offers. So most of my sales over there on Poshmark, I do accept offers on, or somebody accepts an offer on. But on eBay, which is where all these questions are coming from, I do make a lot of full price sales. So on eBay, you have the option between offering best offer or having it completely turned off. For almost all of my listings, I have best offer turned off. Whenever I list something fresh, I do not have best offer turned on. Once an item becomes old, we might flip best offer on, or if I don't know the value of an item, let's say it's a rare graphic t-shirt and the ranges of comps are all over the place, then I might price something for like $300 or best offer, just to throw it out there and let the market decide. But that's not the majority of stuff that I am selling. Majority of stuff that I'm selling, I have done research on, and there's some pretty good information within these sold comps where I know what I should price things for. Even though I do not have best offer turned on in the listing, I will send out offers to watchers, which is something you can still do even if you don't have best offer turned on. And I also run things like sales and promotions. And I do get a lot of sales with those sales and promotions that aren't selling for full price. But I still have a lot of ones that are selling for full price. So even with all of that, some buyers are still choosing to just buy the item outright. Another reason I think that buyers are buying my items for full price is because even though I don't accept best offers, I am still pricing competitively. In fact, I think I am pricing competitively because I'm not offering best offer, which is basically my way of saying I'm not going to let the buyer decide what the market is. I am going to do research. I am going to look up what the market value is based on sold comps and based on data that is recent. And I'm going to choose the middle ground and what most things are selling for. I've talked about this in other videos, but whenever I do sold comps and I'm pricing my items, I really narrow down to, the style, the size, the fabric, whatever I can to get the closest item possible and go off of comps of the most similar items. So if I'm looking up a Talbot sweater and I'm not specific enough, then I might see that the average range for that goes anywhere from $15 all the way up to $60. But if I am more specific in my search and I look things up like Talbot's cotton turtleneck large women's sweater, I am way more likely to have a better understanding of what those items are selling for. So I get very specific when I search and I really narrow down what the competitive market value is for the type of item that I have. From there, I usually go middle of the range. So if a lot of them are going for $25, I'm probably going to price at $25, or I might even choose to price slightly beneath that by $1 or $2. By pricing competitively, you start to get a lot of watchers and your buyer experiences FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So if your buyer knows that you are priced competitively and there's a lot of interest on your item, they might be worried that the item is going to go quickly because they know it's a good deal. Another factor that I think plays into this is I include all the information the buyer would need within the listing in order to make a purchase. If we are doing our jobs right, the buyer should not have to come and ask any questions before purchasing the item. We include things like measurements in our photos. We weigh the item properly. We make sure there is no color variation. If there is, we are expressing that. We point out all of the flaws. It is very clear what the item is and what the buyer will be getting. So if they don't have to ask questions, if they're interested in the item, they're more likely to follow through with the sale. In addition to that, and along those same lines, we also offer reasons for buyers to trust us if they do follow through with the sale. I have a long-standing history on eBay. I have the top rated seller badge, and so it shows that I have a big history with eBay and that I'm a reputable seller. In addition to that, we also offer things like free returns. We have good, high quality looking listings, and buyers can check our feedback and see that we have very high positive feedback. Currently, I'm sitting at 100%. I feel like I need to go knock on wood somewhere. So when a buyer sees that I have all of that information and there is a fallback in case they don't like the item, like free returns, they are way more likely to go through with the sale. And to be honest, a lot of people just really don't want to hassle with asking questions or sending offers. If it's what they want, all the information's there, it is what they were looking for, and they come across that listing, there's really no reason for them to go to another listing. They're just gonna go through with buying yours. Which brings me to my last and final tip, which is that we include great keywords to get the right buyer to the right item. If you're including all kinds of keywords in your listing that don't really match up with the item, then you're bringing the wrong buyer to your item. Over time, eBay's search algorithm will start to notice that a bunch of people are coming to your listing, but they are not purchasing it. And so that's really going to drive you down in the search results, which is why it's so important to have a very accurate listing and keywords that really define the item that you have. If you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know, this word kind of applies, it's a little bit of a stretch, even though it might be a very popular, trendy keyword, if it doesn't apply, do not include it in your listing. If I am listing a J. Crew dress, for example, it's really easy to put things like J. Crew dress, size small, blue, soft. Those probably aren't things that your buyer is looking for. Better keyword, and one that I would prioritize if it fit the listing, were midi or maxi length dress. That's going to add a lot of value to your buyer. Perhaps boho or bohemian, again, only if it truly fits the item. You want to prioritize the keywords in your title that are going to make the most impact and bring the right buyer to your listing. If you're just putting words in there that people aren't really going to search, then they're never going to find your item, or the wrong buyers are going to find your item. You want to focus on bringing the right buyer to the right item. Not sure which words to prioritize in your title? I would try to think of things that add value to the item. Those are the keywords that you want to put in above others. Like I said, if something is longer length, you definitely want to put that in your title. If something is made out of a great material, like linen, and you know that people are buying a ton of linen for spring and summer, you definitely want to put that in your title. And those are going to be more important than putting things like V-neck or short sleeve. Again, it really depends on what item you have. Sometimes the item, it might be better to prioritize those keywords. But you want to make sure to pick the words that you know are going to bring buyers to your item and the right buyer to your item. Alright guys, those are all of my tips for how to make full price sales on eBay, and really any other platform. I feel like these tips could apply just about anywhere. Just remember, making full price sales is not really a testament to how well your business is going, because even though somebody might be making full price sales, they might have been sitting on the item for a very long time. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather make discounted sales, but make them regularly and move items out quickly than sit on an item for 6 months just to make a full price sale. So don't strive to make full price sales, strive to move items quickly. Give yourself some grace and do a little bit of trial and error with some keywords, and I think over time you'll start to learn keywords that you should prioritize for each different brand that you typically sell. For instance, I know that my Elaine Fisher buyers really love it if I have a tunic item or if it's made out of a great material. So I make sure to prioritize those keywords like tunic or that great material like linen that might be in it in my title. And I will choose putting those in those character spaces over some other keywords. It's really just getting to know what buyer is buying the brands that you are selling. Another great tip for Elaine Fisher buyers, if you do have like a cotton or a linen blend sweater, is the keyword beach. Just throwing that out there. Same thing with J. Jill sweaters like that. So you start to learn over time what's working and what's not working. Do a little bit of A and B testing. That is it for all of today's tips on how to make full price sales. I hope that I answered you guys' this question. If you guys have any more burning questions, put them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them in a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.